That's what it looks like when it's finished. Polished, responsive, cross-platform. But behind this is chaos. Literal UI flavored pain. And me rebuilding the system like 6 times.
Yo, that shit was fucking hilarious, bro.
Yo, it's Nate, and in this devlog, I'm going to walk you through how I build a generator system that works on PC, Xbox, and probably your toaster. But most importantly, how I barely survived working with clips, descendants, UI gradients, and the math I definitely didn't learn in school. Let's start with how I messed up, and I mean repeatedly. So you know when you set clips descendants to true, you expect your UI to get masked properly. Yeah, turns out when you rotate the UI, the clip doesn't actually rotate with it. So now your visual pointer is rotating around a circle, but your clipping zone is like, nah bro, I only speak rectangles. After completely nuking my setup, like 3 separate times, I finally found a solution. I decided to use canvas groups for each interaction arc and manually calculate everything. Here's what I did. Each QTE arc is a canvas group. Each one has a gradient inside. I set the arc's rotation as a starting point. Then I set the gradient's rotation to the arc's rotation and added it with the gradient fill size. That's it. No built-in masked rotation. Just me manually measuring angles like I was defusing a goddamn bomb.
Nice.
Okay nerds, here's the actual math breakdown, but I'll keep it beginner friendly. I store the rotation of the arc, I store the size of the arc in degrees, then to calculate where the arc ends, I just do. And yes, I wrapped it with modulus math, so it doesn't explode at 360. And don't even get me started on overlap detection. I wrote a whole function just to check if one arc would bump into another, like true drunk Roombas. All in all, I probably rewrote this system from scratch at least like 5 separate times. I remember one version I used a static image, another one I did nested frames, which died instantly, and one version somehow literally rotated backwards. Like I literally hit R1 and the progress bar just moonwalked the other way. I've seen things, man.
Oh shit, here we go again.
And just to make it worse, the part I thought would be hard, input. Turns out this was probably the easiest thing to do. I literally only had to do, and boom, PC gets mouse button 1, Xbox gets button R1, and everyone's happy. Except me, still crying in my UI gradient. But after all that, it works. The pointer spins, gradients fill, you hit the right button and it flickers light, stops smoke, and plays a glorious success chime. Mess up, you get the red flash of shame and a cooldown penalty that makes you reflect on your life choices. And it's clean. No overlapping arcs. Xbox and PC work equally. You can't spam, you can't cheat, and if it breaks, that's a skill issue. Oh, sorry, did I forget to also mention that for the minigame system, each counselor will have different size skill checks, aka the gradients and how big they are, as well as the speed of the pointer. This is a repair stat. Tiffany, her repair stat is extremely low, as you've seen in the first clip. That's why she had so many checks, and that's why her pointer rotation was super slow. Although it was the same counselor in the second clip, that was another counselor's repair stat, AJ. And as you see, her stat was a lot better. It took a lot less time, and it was, I think, 3 checks versus Tiffany's like 6 to 12. So yeah, also keep that in mind, and you know, be conscious while choosing counselors. So now the generator system works across PC, Xbox, and anything that runs Roblox UI without combusting. Next, I'm going to be working on finishing up the phone generator as well as finishing counselor escapes. Drop a like if you've ever screamed at a gradient, subscribe for more devlogs.